introduce you properly when we start, just so you know when you come in.
Okay, we're live. Hi, they can hear us. They can see you. You're drinking out of a mug, and it's probably water. That's so embarrassing. Hi, everybody. Oh,
I like the gravitas of a mug.
Very strange. Okay, if you're drinking water out of a mug, you're not right, but neither is Keith, so you're listening to the right show. I have an in-house to go. I'm always ready for a hike. All right, and we have a new guest.
It strange? I do find it. I know, like, so Henda has an autoimmune disease, and she can only drink from so many certain things. But you don't have to drink from a plastic thermos thing. What is it with you people?
It's not because I have an autoimmune thing.
Then what is it?
This
it's not
freezes
convenient.
really well. It's so convenient, and usually,
it looks convenient.
Usually I have a straw on it, so I don't have to get up for a while. It freezes, so I have cold water. For how many ounces? This is 30 ounces.
I love carrying 30 ounces around wherever I go in my house.
I drink like 4 of these a day.
Are you in the bathroom a lot? Whenever I try to be better at my water, I'm like, this isn't worth it.
Oh, okay. I could see that, but no, I'm solid once a bottle, I guess.
All right.
All right. I think we're ready to start. If Bad Beef is here, we're ready. Bad Beef is here. All right. Congrats, Anne, for taking Bad Beef's gift of a Keith and the Girl membership. Keith, get started.
Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
Last night's silent trailers. Well, I'm not going to tell you who won, but it was fantastic.
It really
was fantastic.
A solid group of people for the best game show ever.
It might be my favorite one yet. Check out the Keith and the Girl YouTube channel. It's up there right now. All right. Don't miss it. And don't miss Newsy's version of the game. He puts screenshots, he puts his own commentary. He doesn't mind too much. Check it out in our IG stories. I know it's also on our Reddit, Keith and the Girl. All right. Thanks for checking it out, hitting it, sharing it, all that stuff. New guest for Keith and the Girl. Very excited.
Whoop, whoop.
Featured in Peacock, NBC, Edinburgh Fringe, Sirius XM, Caitlin Cook. Hello, Caitlin.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. I'll tell you that much. I see you on Instagram, and you're going to do a one-woman show on a musical on graffiti in bathroom stalls. And the difference between, let's say, a men's bathroom, a woman's bathroom, a family bathroom, this kind of thing. I love what I'm saying.
Great. I'm so glad you do. A lot of people have latched on to one of those particular videos. I think it just hit like 6 million views on Reels, which is pretty wild.
Do people, like, if you do a show now, does somebody deliberately run into the bathroom, write something, thinking maybe you'll see it and I'll be in a song?
Honestly, I guess I'd never know, but I would love that. I definitely have. I took this show to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival last year. And in order to advertise the show, I put up posters in bathroom stalls because I felt like that was appropriate advertising. And I did see some graffiti later of like arrows pointing to my flyer saying like 5 stars, funniest show I've seen, or like, here's a beautiful illustrated dick for this show, anything along the way.
I feel like bathroom stall stuff used to be just rude and potentially unlawful. Like, well, it's unlawful to write on other people's property, but still it would be like, here's this person's number because I hate them. It would be like, this person is the worst lover on earth. Make sure you get in touch or let his wife know or something. It used to be, or just simple, I was here and the name, right? But now it's like, fuck the world. And then like a different pen and an arrow. And it's like, if you feel this way, call this number. I felt this way, like all this kind of stuff, or like, or something clever.
It used to be so simple. Here I lie brokenhearted, tried to shit, only farted. But now it's cries for help.
Well, it's such a wide range. Okay, so I first started photographing bathroom graffiti about 10 years ago. I was studying art history, and I was getting really frustrated by like how pretentious the art world can be about art history. Yeah. And I was like in a dive bar bathroom, and I saw written on a wall, it said, since writing on toilet walls is neither for financial gain nor critical acclaim, it is the purest form of art. Discuss. And I was like, whoa, now this is right up my alley.
This
I
is what
love
I'm
this.
saying.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this should be in museums.
I agree. So I started photographing it like everywhere I went. And like maybe 5 years ago, I realized, oh, this would make a really good musical comedy song if I could somehow figure out a way to project the pictures I've taken behind me as I sing what's written on stalls as lyrics. And that got such a crazy response that I
Is
was
it
like,
so that we follow exactly the song, or are you showing proof?
kind of both.
Okay.
I think like I've tried to do these songs without the projections behind me. It just like does not work as well.
Huh.
I think there's something about like this is found art and someone wrote this here and reading it while you're hearing it. It just like
and looking
clicks.
at their handwriting,
Uh-huh.
honestly, we can make up what kind of person this is.
Yeah, exactly. And you want to know like why did they write that day and what's their story? And you know, it's I find it so intriguing. And it's also like side note, like the oldest form of art. You know, we've been drawing on caves since the dawn of time.
Yes.
Oh, when you bring it back to caves, no
yes,
one can argue
caves.
anymore. Yeah.
So true.
They've been drawing in their bathrooms, you know.
Yeah,
everywhere.
Caves were their bathrooms.
I
Yeah.
love it. We got to give credit where credit is due. First,
That is so true.
and purest. And
Yes,
I wonder if they were shitting for some of that,
probably.
right?
I think so.
You did everything in
Um,
your cave.
Exactly. And even back then, it was like kind of sometimes some of the same stuff. It wasn't writing, but it was like, you know, like men with big dicks and like fertility goddesses and like people fucking and like people, you know, trying to kill bison, you know, the things that we do these days.
What is it, by the way, with guys? I know it's weird. I'm the one asking, but what is guys' fascination with drawing dicks?
I don't know, but I think they're fun to draw. Like
It's easy to draw too.
It's easy to draw. You don't
Yeah.
have to know where the clitoris is. You can just draw the dick and balls. And like the range that I've seen of like beautifully illustrated like cowboy dicks and ninja dicks and like
Right.
you know it feels very like Jonah Hill's character in Superbad.
You know what though? You know, I never really thought, why do guys draw dicks? And because the first thought was, okay, it's easy, but I think a heart is easier. And then when I think about it, I'm like, okay, the clit, very funny. And then I think, all right, I'm going to draw boobs everywhere I go now.
Mhm.
And I hope you find it and I make it into your art and then we can
Yes.
share that. But
I
boobs,
love that.
they have to be easy, right?
Yes.
Or at least the practice of it. I might start off very pancakey and end up very grandma-y. You never know.
You never know.
This is my new thing.
There's a lot of great boobs. I definitely, highly recommend drawing boobs in bathrooms. Sometimes I'll draw a vagina with an arrow to where the clitoris is, just so there's more informational.
And
stuff
then in
bathrooms.
parentheses, but everybody's different.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have to you have
exactly.
to sign that with
Talk
your
to your
name.
partner. Yeah.
Oh, you know what would be good? The next time I'm gonna draw a giant vagina, right? And then on the corner, on one of the corners, I'll write, fill in where yours is. And then everyone just draws in a clit when they
I love that. I love bathroom graffiti that like asks a question or like when people talk to each other on bathroom walls is my
Yes.
favorite. So like after I wrote the first song and it got such a good response, I was like, you know what? I have so many pictures. I could write a whole musical. So I could do one song that's men's versus women's stalls, as I have. I could do one song that's like the sad poetic things that people have written. I could do one song that's like the final song of the show is called Conversations with Strangers, and it's just people responding to each other. And it is hilarious. The like ways that people find punchlines and like build each other up and break each other down is just like, it's the best. And these are just people that will never meet, that will never know that they had this conversation. You know, I think it's just beautiful.
And since we don't know each other's handwriting anymore, no one's gonna get caught saying anything to anyone. It's anonymous
true.
as soon as you're writing it down.
Yeah, exactly.
Have
It's
you
beautiful.
ever called a bathroom stall phone number?
I have not, other than like maybe 8675309, you know,
Sure.
that old song. But like I don't even know if that goes to anything. I used to like have a like funny little answering machine that someone was paying for with that number, but I don't even know what it goes to.
You
Are
know
you
what?
d-
That I wonder if that's like an encore for the musical where and then each show you call a different phone number. And then
Yes.
it's a
Oh my
different
God.
change to everything.
And that
That would be
dude comes
great.
out who made the song. See you live.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Are you dating? I'm curious if like, do you go in a men's bathroom and then it's maybe a boyfriend's job to make sure nobody comes in or anything like this?
No, I am dating. I have a partner. But I typically will like, if the men's bathroom is empty, I will go in and like, if it's a good women's bathroom, I will want to see the men's. Or if the men's is busy, I'll send in a guy friend. Or like at this point, it's pretty crazy because I've been doing this kind of work live and on TikTok and Instagram for a while now. So at this point, my DMs are filled with people sending me graffiti. And when people who you are not friends with yet send you a picture in a DM, it's blurred and you have to like consent to see it. So I used to play this game of like, is it a dick pic or is it like an illustrated dick pic? And it's almost 99% now bathroom graffiti. And I love that people just find me and are like, you need to see this. Maybe it'll make it into your show.
It's just a drawn dick. Okay. That was a risk. What's the greatest drawn dick you've ever seen?
God, there's so many. Most of them are in my show. I think my favorite is the cowboy dick. It's in that
Spurs.
reel. Yeah, he's got spurs. And it got such a big response because it's at the end of like dick, cowboy dick, of this like part of the song. And it got such a big response that at some point I just like ad-libbed, like, I feel like I should get this tattooed on me, you guys. And that got such a big laugh that like I've started to say it more and more when I sing that song live. And now I feel like if this show does really well, I feel like I have to get it tattooed on me.
Oh, you're making me buy a ticket here.
Yeah, no shit. Dude, we'll buy out the whole place.
Yeah,
yes, right. I will do that. If it sells out, I will get a cowboy dick tattooed on me.
Do you run what you're doing by your partner, and then do they have to deal with? I give a shit what order the dicks are shown in, honey.
Well, I feel really lucky in that when I first started working on this show, I was with my previous partner that I believe has done the show with you guys, Sean Patton.
Yes, Sean's great. I mean, maybe not, right?
You tell me. That's your
he's great.
Partner.
He's actually my ex, but like we're still really good friends. He's somewhere around here right now, actually. We were just making some breakfast. But he's great, and he was like very helpful in going to men's bathrooms and taking pictures for me and being like, oh, you got to have like a little. It's funny with musical comedy because you have to like figure out where the laughs are going to be and like build in musical sections so you're not stepping on laughs, but also that there isn't like a ton of time switching from a verse to a chorus where there's just like silence. Like the pacing is really interesting to figure out from a musical context. So he was like good at helping me figure out the comedic timing. And now I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. And now you're.
Oh, I was just going to say now that I'm with my current partner, who is the director of my show. So he is actually very picky about the order of the dicks and like and he's also like a Broadway musician guy as well. So like he's very picky about like, okay, the structure of the song and this dick needs to go here and it will get a bigger laugh if we do this chord here. And I'm like, great, excellent.
This is wonderful because you're a great example of it working out, shitting where you eat. Like because it's all bathroom related. It's your content and who you date. And yes. and I should talk to your boyfriend because I have an idea for how to propose to you, but I'm going to run it by you real quick. Okay.
I love this because he just asked my parents for their blessing and got my grandma's ring and keeps being like, I need some time alone to like plan this proposal. So you go for it.
How great is that, by the way, when I've done that too, where I ask, the father's permission. It's like, please say yes, because it's going to be awkward if you say no and we get married. It is happening.
Yep. Yes, exactly. It's like, why is this ritual still sort of a thing? Right. And of course, like when he was like, should I talk to your dad? I was like, well, I think my mom will be really upset if she's not included in that conversation.
Right. You know what? My dad would be the only dad to be like, let me get back to you on that. So that you're waiting on him. Like, I appreciate your options. Send me an essay on how you will treat my daughter.
Your dad, if someone asked, oh my God, if somebody came up to your dad, he would make them do pre-Cana with him on their own 5 times before he can even decide if it's a yes or a no. So it doesn't guarantee it because he just wants friends.
With a passing grade, you certainly can marry my daughter. But first,
he thinks that's what brunch is. Like very confused guy. But I was thinking that your upcoming fiance, should you decide to say yes, it sounds like you're still up in the air, but nice restaurant, right? and then pay them ahead of time. And it has to be a beautiful restaurant and graffiti the shit out of their stalls. Will you marry me? And it has to be your first and last name there too. And because and I see he could say Caitlin because you specifically have like a C and it's spelled a very specific way, but I would say write Cook in parentheses also. And then like when you open the stall, he's on his knee. Huh?
I like it. I like it.
It includes videotaping you while you pee / maybe other things come out, but you can edit that out later. It's just part of the process. You don't
really
want to
romantic. Yeah, I like that.
And then you both wash your hands and go.
Well, speaking of relationships, and it makes me think of this. You was it today that you had therapy?
Yes.
Can I ask how's it going, and what's your major issue that you talk about?
What's your damage, Heather?
Why you fucked up?
My damage. It's funny. This is also part of the show. Yeah, I just had therapy. I have a little old man named Rick, who's my therapist. Love him. Okay. And I've been in therapy a long time because my damage is that I got into a really bad car accident when I was 17.
Oh, legit damage.
Yeah, legit damage. And this actually has like sort of become part of the show where like I'm talking to the audience like we're women bonding in a bathroom and I'm showing them all my favorite pieces of graffiti. And you start to wonder like, why is this girl hiding in this bathroom? Like, why are we still in here? Like, why hasn't she gone back out to the bar? And then this is like, obviously it's me, but it's a heightened version of me, stage me.
Sure.
And then at some point, everyone like in the audience starts to share little confessions. And I have a whole song of bathroom stall graffiti confessions. And then I end up talking a little bit about my car accident and about like things that I've gone through that are also sort of heightened versions of it because it's stage me. But yeah, I mean, that's my shit. I feel like, you go through something traumatic when you're younger and it takes a long time to unravel it.
Who was driving?
I was.
Were you inebriated in any way?
No, I was not. I was 17. I was driving to go to a first date with my then boyfriend, or like later he would become my boyfriend. And I don't want to get too much into it just because like it's a part of the show and everything, but
I don't want to hear too much. How about that?
Great. Well,
don't act like it was your choice. I was going to cut you off.
Okay, great. No, I mean, it was just, it was not my fault, but somebody ended up dying from it. And because of that, I blamed myself for a very long time and like definitely had a long period of, self-destructive tendencies because I just like felt like I didn't deserve good things. Because, this shit happens. And it was just an accident,
Sure. And I'm not saying you should or shouldn't. Do you reach out to the family? Did you do that?
I haven't. At the time, his son reached out to me and told me that like I shouldn't blame myself. It wasn't my fault. He didn't blame me. And then like 6 months later, they sued me for insurance money. So like a little bit of conflict there. But like at the end of the day, I feel like, you're trying to legally maybe get some money out of the situation or that can be.
Do you show that letter in like court? Do you show the letter that they said it's okay? Or at least somebody did?
It was a phone call. So there's nothing really I could share. Yeah.
That's clever.
Yeah, I mean, in the same way that he understood, it sounds like you understand also. Like,
yeah, I think he meant the sentiment behind what he said. And also, I'm really grateful to that in a moment where, his father had just died. So like, I would be feeling a lot of really conflicting things. And he made a point to reach out and let me know that he didn't blame me. And so I sort of am able to separate the two.
Yeah, I feel it. But I feel like it makes sense to sue the insurance, no?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. I mean, not a lot of bad happens to you. It goes away for you after a little while, right?
Yeah, exactly. So.
And I have more bad news from not for you, for a listener, Ryan Veet, who is a lot in the chat. Hey, me too, he says. Now you hope me too, like my phone number was on a stall or something like that. Nope. No.
It's right. It's
Here
car
it comes.
crashes.
Yeah. This is a lot, so brace. I was 15 and my dad bled to death on top of me while the car burned.
Wow.
Holy hell.
That's awful.
Okay, well, you're talking to Keith, who would never burn in a fire. So fuck you, Ryan.
I'd say he's alive. He's alive. Isn't that interesting? He didn't wait there.
Ryan, that's a lot. Thanks for sharing. Holy shit. You wound up with a guest. Caitlin, it was good to see you.
Are you nervous about driving now?
I used to be. There was a while that I'm so grateful my brother got me back into a car pretty soon after the accident and didn't let that sort of fear really build up. Because I grew up in Los Angeles. So there was how else are you going to get around? Right. And then for a long time, I just lived in cities where I didn't need a car. I lived in Chicago. I've been living in New York. I lived in the UK for a while. And then somewhat more recently, my current partner owns a car here in New York, which what a luxury. But because we're musicians, we have to, go on tour and drive around instruments a lot. And so I've gotten a lot more comfortable driving around, and it's been long enough that I've sort of worked through that.
Everything's good with the relationship, working together? It doesn't get to a boil or anything like that?
I mean, everything is really good. I think every relationship has conflict, but one of the funny things about us is because we're both musicians, we kind of end up having fights and working through stuff while singing, while playing music. I have this one song that just goes, I feel like a dick. I feel like an asshole. And then we just we'll talk through why we're sort of feeling shitty or something shitty that we did and apologize for it. And it ends up bringing about some really cool songs or just some silly moments. There's something about I was reading some study about, there's something about singing that it hits a part of your brain where you're not so necessarily I don't know, on edge all the time, or right. It feels less vulnerable to just kind of sing something sometimes.
I saw another woman's phone number in your pocket.
There you go.
Talk about it.
There you go. It's funnier to do it like that.
See, I didn't know you guys were making up ditties. I thought you were reaching for, some sort of I used to love her.
Sometimes. But yeah.
Or if it makes you happy.
Yeah. Fuck, I love that song. No, we do cover sometimes, but mostly we're songwriters. So silly little lyrics will pour out of us all the time.
That's great. That's great because that could really annoy a different person.
I agree.
Yeah. Who's oh my God, another fucking ditty. That's great. Oh, you're looking me in the eye with this. That's good.
It's funny. How did these quirky things even start? Who did the first song fight?
Oh my God. I don't even know.
Why'd you slam the door?
I feel man, we were watching New Girl at some point, and Jessica Day, Zoe Deschanel's character, sings a lot in a very annoying way. Okay. And we looked at each other and we were like, is that us? Is that who we are? But she'll just do something where she'll it's somewhat similar, I guess, of open the fridge and be like, what do you want for dinner? And just make something up. So that's just, I don't know. It ends up being a way that we communicate. But I think I was probably the first person that was acknowledging a fight mid song.
I have a brother that when there's a pause in conversation, I don't know if it's nerves or he just doesn't like the silence, but he just starts singing a random song. I'm like, hey, we're still talking. Do you know everything's fine? And 2 seconds didn't go by and we're talking.
Humans do not like silence. It's really funny to use that tactic if you feel like you're negotiating or you really want someone or you're in a conflict to just be quiet and let them talk themselves into a little knot.
We have a thing. Henda's great at this. We have a thing on Keith and the Girl, and let's say she's dealing with customer service and they're not doing anything. She goes, "What do we do now?" And she just waits, and they try to wait a little bit too, but they can't. We can outwait you, and somehow, and then they give options and solve things.
Mm-hmm. That's so smart.
Yeah. Speaking about strange names and relationships, can we talk about? This is sad news. Britney Spears.
Yes.
Britney Spears is getting a divorce. It's been a crazy year of that marriage, and they've had enough.
What's been going on in the marriage?
Well, I'll tell you, first of all, when you name your kid something like Brittany or Deborah or even Caitlin, is Is it abuse? Is it?
I don't know, Keith.
Right, Keith is easy, right? But like Brittany, you can spell it 7 different ways. It's like, Mom, why'd you give me such a tough name? No, you make them know you, and you're Brittany with 1 T. No way.
Yeah, I used to say I'm Caitlin the Irish way, not the stripper way. And then one time I was on a date and the guy said, "Okay, so not like my sister." And then I felt really bad for a while. I was like, "Oh my God, I just called his sister a stripper." And like, I feel so bad. And then I was like, why was he going on a date with someone that had the same name as his sister?
Right. I didn't want to forget, but yeah.
Also, like, what if his sister's a stripper? You're not going to feel bad that way, right?
Exactly. I'm pro strippers. Like,
maybe
that's fine.
she is. Yeah.
You just happen to spell the name differently.
Right.
Yeah.
It was revealed that
Irish strippers. Go ahead.
Brittany and Sam Asghari have split after 14 months of marriage. How long do you think you guys are going to last?
Oh
15,
man,
just fuck Brittany.
Yeah,
we did it.
I'll make it last that long.
The dancer 29 is already threatening to spill information about Britney Spears, who's 41, if she doesn't agree to renegotiate a prenup.
Oh man,
Ew,
that's blackmail. That's fucking blackmail.
I want now. If I'm against Britney as a lawyer, do I want her on the stand or not? If I get, because I'll get her on the stand, but she'll just start twirling. I twirled since I was 4. Does that help me? Or is it like Johnny Depp going, "Oh, you saw me drunk and fucked up"? No, I took 2 heroines and a 17-hour day at work, and then people start feeling bad for that. I wonder if it'd be good if she just starts twirling.
I don't know why
she's such a loose cannon. I don't know if you can, like, if you were a lawyer, if you could predict if that would be a good or a bad thing.
See, I don't know. Is she a loose cannon, or do people poke her all fucking day, and then 5 years later she has an outbreak of emotion that she's held that any one of us would lose our mind over, and we're like, "You're crazy," and it's like, "You're crazy too." I don't know. Yeah. I think I have a soft spot for Britney. Like, even when she like shaved her head and put the broom through the car, I'm like, well, this makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, loose cannon, and also like absolutely understandably, like, what a tough life she has had. It's so crazy.
I guess both can exist.
What she's been through. Yeah.
Yeah.
But can I get a different dance than the twirl? You have that down, Brittany. I promise. You're really good at going in a circle. You're doing great. Can I get something new?
Great dancer.
Well, I feel like at this point, psychiatrists should tell which meds you need by the, repeating of which twirl. Like, that's a repeating twirl. That's got to be, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know you do a little twirl with your hand up. Lexapro. Got it. Yeah.
Exactly.
He's saying that she was cheating on him multiple times. And the news comes out, and then she put a picture of herself in a polka dotted dress. Polka dots have always been so much fun to wear, in my opinion. It adds a nice touch to any ensemble. And the people are like, yeah, okay. Sorry about the divorce is coming. I'm thinking of buying a horse. Okay. All right.
I think that's common to think about buying a horse at a divorce.
Yeah.
Some people think of polka dots. Sure. You start paying attention to what you're wearing.
Yeah. Some people like to spill all of their personal life on social media or talk about their car accident on podcasts. It's totally fine. But Brittany just wants to talk about polka dots and horses. And I respect that.
He says, we will hold on to the love and respect we have for each other. And I wish her the best always. Shit happens. Asking for privacy seems ridiculous. So I will just ask for everyone, including media, to be kind and thoughtful.
That also seems ridiculous.
It's all ridiculous. Whatever you're right. But no, of course I'm invested. You included me in the wedding. I'm invested now. Reports are that Britney Spears got physical with this guy several times and once gave him a black eye as he slept. What's going on?
I love that could be reports.
Yeah. What?
Did it happen or not?
That's insane. If this was any other newspaper clipping about a divorce where somebody gets punched in the eye, they would say sources, they would name the sources or at least like the relationship to it. Not, it was said. That's crazy.
She was, let's see, someone told TMZ, someone.
Mhm.
Brittany was paranoid someone was going to get her. She needed knives as protection. The house is littered with knives all over the place, apparently. Let's see.
You got to blame the parents, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Many times being attacked during the 7 years they knew each other, married, of course, only a year. Sources told the publication that there are numerous fights where security had to step in between the pair. Anytime, I hope this doesn't seem silly like it's in hindsight, but my rule has always been, if security breaks up you fighting, you wait another year before you get married. Always been my rule.
Maybe they waited 7 years.
Maybe.
It's a good rule.
Maybe. Did you see on Netflix, Caitlin, there's a new Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard documentary?
I did. I tried to watch it because I find that case super interesting. But it's such a boring documentary.
I loved it.
Really?
I loved it.
Maybe I'll have to try it again.
You don't
have to listen.
You know, you know, but to me, it's like, so it was all, let's say, Amber's testimony one day, then Depp's testimony one day, and this has it go back and forth. So you're following the same story. What he said, what she said, what he said. And then it brings in the social media aspect of it, you know, the public and how they're taking shit and how they twisted around shit and then got it to trend and all this stuff. I loved it. I thought it was, I'm like, are we in a time machine? Who gives a shit anymore? I loved it.
I watched the trailer and I hate both of them already. And I didn't follow the stuff while it was going on. Was Johnny Depp drunk the whole time, or was it just in that trailer part? I didn't go to court for my divorce, but I cannot imagine that would be my demeanor in court. Yeah, I don't know. And then I found shit and went, hey, I found shit. I can only say things in this cool way. So I imagine she shot on my bed. I didn't say that. I'm not gonna say that, but if I was a cool guy and still had to tell you there was shit in the bed, this is probably how I do it. I don't know what character I'm playing. I never got hired for this character. So I don't know why I think it's likable, but here it is.
Here's a picture of you so drunk that you're spilling ice cream on your lap. Yeah, like I said, a 17-hour workday. I took 2. And he takes the angle. He wants the jury, like, if you heard, which you do, you see, you hear terrible things, and he's trying to tell the jury that he has an addiction of some kind. And he goes, I took 17-hour day at work. 17-hour day at work. You got no naps in your trailer making a movie, 17-hour days. He goes, I took 2 of those morphines, opiates, what do you call them? Opioids, oxycodone. Like, it's just oxycodone. Calm down. That doesn't make you slam fucking shit and throw bottles, et cetera, et cetera. No. It's like he's putting shit in the jury's head. Like, I mean, Google it. Oxycodone is like heroin if you think about it.
Yeah, look at Britney Spears. She's got less years on me. I mean, you could imagine her stress. She's got 17-hour days for kids. Like, imagine the movies are my kids. So, you know, yeah, I do it for you people. That's me in the movies. Right. You're not seeing things. This is the face that you keep seeing in movies. Yeah, she's a face in the movie too, but you're probably seeing that face because every woman that we allow her face on the screen, she's got to look like this other woman. So I look like a pirate, and that's enough. So you don't got to look like another guy if you look like a pirate too. So I got that going on. Plus, I like chocolate, so they made a movie for me about chocolate. So that was cool. Yeah, that's probably what the shit was. But you know, I think it was so much chocolate in that movie. So got a little confused that day. Maybe a little NyQuil was a little too much for me. Thank you.
I had half a Unisom a week ago, I think. And they show all these different podcasters and YouTubers. And at one point they show Brian Callen, a comic who hasn't been doing his podcast lately because he's taking, when you get in trouble, just take a break. He's taking a break because he's accused of rape, including underage people at his shows. Is it so important I see him 3 fucking times on the TV? Unless it's all just a trick so we talk about Brian Callen again. Like, run this fucking movie by some people and they go, there's no reason to put Brian in. He's accused of rape.
Yeah, it seems like someone didn't do their due diligence there.
I would say so.
Did they hire the due diligence guy? Because they seem to not spend their money on the due diligence guy.
They didn't do that.
Yeah.
Amber's, so if I had to say,
there will be this segment, like there's, producers, executive producers, grips, there's a whole, at the end of the movie, you could sit there for another 10 minutes to see who worked on it. There needs to be a due diligence person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's just look up, hey, this person's playing a pedophile. Are we going to find out something later?
They should do that research because that's happened too frequently.
did you find yourself picking a side?
I didn't get far enough into the documentary that now I want to rewatch because I'm hearing more about it from you. And now this is very interesting. I found I'm more inclined to believe her, obviously, yes. But I found like overall that it just seemed like a terribly toxic relationship where both people were at fault and like were just super malicious towards each other and had a whole host of issues and should not be together. And I also thought for two people that are supposedly like A-list actors that they were very bad at being likable and like acting on the stand.
Yeah,
right.
I don't understand why there aren't lawyer actors where they pretend they're in a scene. So that you get like an actor, you tell them the lawyer parts, and then you tell whoever your character is. Do you have Johnny Depp as as your client? Now treat him like a character. He doesn't know anything else. When you say action, he's playing himself. You don't want that. Give him the good guy character with the good guy words and tell him to play that role. They can memorize lines. I don't know why they're improvising.
You're already coaching them as a lawyer about what questions you're going to ask them on the stand. Like, why coach them a little bit? Yes, you're so right.
Sit up straight. Fucking stop mumbling. Take one less pill for this fucking audition. What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Because if you mumble, we can make up what you're saying. And if we like you and who didn't like Johnny Depp, then you must be saying smart shit.
Well, he's not a one-take Johnny. It sounds like he has to do a lot of takes in order for him to get the right character. Or they should have said, like, fuck it, you're a pirate. Just do the, like it would be better if he thought he was a pirate on the stand from the little that I saw.
Based on, I
whoever
go by
dressed her like a librarian, great job.
Right. I think they were trying to, I don't know, quote, ugly her up. You don't want, maybe it would confuse jury members if she looked hot.
They were trying to regular her.
Yes.
Yeah. Like this is a person that you could look at for a long time. But it might be your neighbor who you want to look at for a long time.
Yes.
Right. Just based on the video and the audio, to me, I was Team Heard. Anything you saw or heard for the most part was anti Johnny Depp. But Amber Heard's lawyer, holy God. When one of the lawyers goes, now remember, this case is important. She wrote a Washington Post article that alluded to she was abused by somebody. That, of course, is Johnny Depp. You already agreed you wouldn't talk about this again after a case in England. We're going to sue you now for $50 million. The jury ended up granting $10 million. Everybody agreed on $1 million because she didn't have $10 million. And the lawyer goes, but remember, this case isn't about who you like more. And it's like, you must know everybody likes Johnny Depp more. Because in high school, I knew it. When you vote, it's about who you like more. And teachers are like, it's not a popularity contest. Then what is it?
Yes.
They're politics. If there should be a soda machine, it's who you like more. Of course it is. And then the lawyer goes, now think about this. Will Johnny Depp come after your career next? Will he smear your good name? And it's like, I'm not worried Johnny Depp's going to ruin my career. So this is silly, and it seems like a trick. And I wonder if that hurt him. And of course, and they weren't sequestered. So of course you go home.
Yep.
Everybody's got a fucking opinion. The documentary shows how they
The
did.
jury wasn't sequestered?
No, they got to go
Weird.
home.
Hold on.
And
What?
Johnny Depp's lawyer, after the fact, was on an interview, and they go, do you think that, public opinion being on Depp's side did kind of sway things? And they go, nope, they take their oath seriously, and nobody looked anything up to hear other people's opinions. Of course, your fucking wife has an opinion. You want to get laid, so you might try to get the jury on that side. It's ridiculous.
Not even just that, like on your commute home, that's all people are talking about. I didn't look up one thing about this. Look how much I can have a conversation with you about it. That's crazy. How did they get home?
Yeah, that's wild. I didn't even finish the documentary. I can't remember the details from 4 years ago, and I'm willing to talk about it on a podcast that's being recorded. Come on.
Yeah, by the way, you should be able to, if you do want to get out of jury duty, just say, yeah, I just know my character and I will check the news. Well, you can't. You have to take an oath.
Sorry.
I know me. I mean,
I don't believe in oaths.
I'm telling you, I will. I'm going to ask people for opinions. I liked in the documentary that they showed, you might remember in the American case, it's like, and did you pour it, because they caught him on video, did you pour yourself a mega pint of wine? And Johnny Depp like kind of looks at the jury. He's like, what? Jury giggles a little bit. He's like, mega pint? What the fuck is a mega? In the England trial, he brought up the term mega pint. In the England trial, he brought up that the dog does have a shitting problem. In the American trial, they convinced us that maybe Amber Heard shat on a bed. Which one is more probable?
Yeah. I mean,
is the horrible lawyering.
Not many people could shit on command. So that's definitely something you'd want to show off about.
And I do remember everybody saying, it's Amber Heard. She's an actress. She's acting. You don't know her acting skills. You know Ed Wood's acting skills and Gilbert Grape's and Donnie Brasco's. And of course he's playing to the jury. She would say something and he's sitting there and he goes, oh, excuse me. He can't make any faces like, that's the craziest thing I ever heard. Your lawyer told you what she's going to talk about. It's not a surprise. Like, oh, I was drunk one day. What? This is blowing my mind. But it could tear families apart. Kyle is on Team Depp.
I don't see how you could be.
What happens when you? That's what I think. When we die and go to heaven, does God tell us who was right?
Listen, when we die and go to heaven, she's going to be at that high school for 21 Jump Street, so don't worry about it. You'll be in a different segment. You can't meet Johnny Depp at 21 Jump Street and then be on other people's side.
Mm-mm.
She testified, and it went in and out of this court. No pun, but in this court case, it was mentioned very briefly that she testified that he raped her with a glass bottle.
Oh, that's believable. Why is that not believable?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No. By the way, though, so I don't know. I never asked you this about the jury being sequestered. Were they in the news also? Were they on video? Or are you allowed to capture? Because you don't see the jury. In this documentary, you don't see the jury. Okay, so they didn't put it out like while the social media was happening about this. No one knew who the jury was. So you can go home anonymously?
I believe you're right.
Okay, because otherwise these 12 jurors would be more famous than that fake juror show.
Right. That's the fake jurors should know. They don't put the camera on you. Did you see that TV show, Caitlin, Jury Duty?
Another thing that I tried to watch, I think I made it through a couple episodes. I thought it was funny. I love James Marsden. I liked the concept. There's something about mockumentaries that I just struggle with sometimes. I have to be in the right mood for.
I agree. Yes, it's something about the mockumentary. It's like you almost did something, but really it's a long April Fool's joke, and it just ends up being sad for me. That's so one guy doesn't know, so you didn't tell him. What's the joke? I don't know.
I don't know. I like them if I'm in the right mood, but it's a specific kind of humor that sometimes feels a little mean, or sometimes feels like it's trying to be two different things at once, and I can't decide whose side I'm on. And I don't know.
I like it. Yes.
Yeah.
Well said.
There's a section where
That being said, I saw the whole thing. But anyway.
Okay, great.
they talk about Amber Heard was in a movie with James Franco, and Johnny Depp got jealous, and in front of Johnny
because
Depp's
he was supposed to get that part. They're the same person.
Right.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp's friend, who happens to also be his doctor, was there, and they're asking this friend, do you remember when he said, fuck James Franco, you slut, did he make your pussy wet, all this shit? And the friend goes, I don't recall that.
That's you don't.
I don't recall. No is the answer. No, I don't recall it, because you might have proof and you're fucking trying to trick me. So I'll just go right now. I don't recall it. No, it didn't happen. I'm not sure if it happened. I don't recall. That's playing dumb. Put him in jail. It doesn't matter. I don't give a fuck. Go to jail.
Oh.
Die.
That person, go to jail.
Yeah. Yes.
Stop doctoring.
Her lawyer's like, Johnny Depp, were you, during this incident we're talking about, did you do cocaine? He's like, yes. Did you do alcohol? And I wonder if Johnny Depp's like, oh, that's where we're going to? Yeah, you just blew it. You start with alcohol, you go up. You don't go, did you have an aspirin perhaps also? And at one point, Amber Heard's lawyer, during the closing arguments, I don't know if it was an accident or deliberate, goes, now when you look at Mr. Death, you have to think to yourself, and I'm like, did you just say death? And I rewinded. Yeah. Was that a mistake? Don't bullshit.
Right there. Yeah.
Now, were you listening to Miss Heard?
Yeah, I think you already know if you're gonna like this or not. So yeah, I don't want you to watch it and blame me, but it was all the points right away, and I loved it a lot. And I hope there's a lot of embarrassed social media people that saw it.
Nice. I will watch it. I watch pretty much everything eventually, because I do a lot of illustration and design work. And right now I'm, editing a lot of photos of graffiti to go on a bigger projector on the stage. And so I have something on in the background, and it's usually a podcast or a TV show. So I'll get to everything eventually.
You hear that, artists? She'll get to you.
Yeah. I won't be fully focused on you. It'll be like background noise, but
don't focus on that.
Yeah.
You're still getting the watch. Right. Don't worry about it.
There you go. You're getting the stream.
You do want to see Caitlin live. I'll tell you that right now. Am I wrong, Caitlin? If I'm embarrassing myself, tell me, but I don't think I am. I think you want to see
me live. The show is really fun live. It literally starts with like me realizing that there's no toilet paper in the bathroom and asking the audience for toilet paper. And it's different every night because someone brings me something different and it's a different person. So it's come to all the shows. It's going to be a different show every time.
How do you start? Does it somehow start in a literal bathroom?
Yeah, there's a toilet on stage. The whole show is set in a bathroom. I treat the audience like, I guess kind of like we're women bonding in a bathroom, though everyone's welcome. I treat, that's like the vibe I'm used to. And the audience kind of becomes my confidant, and we just like spill secrets in the bathroom and look at graffiti. And it's a really fun hour.
Can we talk merch? Can you sell specialized toilet paper on the way out?
Oh my God. I have been thinking about merch this week because I need to like get all my orders in, and I love designing merch. Toilet paper is a great idea. I was also thinking I might do some underwear because that's fun. And then like little postcards of some of my favorite pieces of graffiti. And then I've been asked for coffee table books a lot, but that's very heavy to carry around. So I think I'll maybe print one. And if people buy them, I'll send them.
That's actually a good online merch idea that you can sell at the thing, and then they get it sent right away.
Exactly. Thank you. Drop print.
Guys, if your chick catches you with another woman's panties, just go, I was at a show.
Yes, there you go. Up. It is the perfect excuse.
The rating on the stall.
Yes.
One woman bathroom graffiti musical, Soho Playhouse.
Yep.
September 6th through the 9th. Nice. 13th through 16th, 20 through 23, 20th through the 23rd. Those are numbers. There we go.
It's the first 3 weeks of September. You know.
All right.
Yeah, there you go. And it's where Fleabag was, and the Nets and Daniel Sloss and a bunch of other very famous, successful people. And I'm gonna be in a bathroom stall on stage, showing a lot of illustrated dick pics and telling a lot of dick jokes. So
I have to come to this. I have to.
Please do.
To this. Yes. I'm bringing a tampon.
You know what? I'll tell your followers if they DM me. Bonus points if they send me a picture of bathroom stall graffiti, but I'll give them a discount code to the show.
Okay.
Oh, you guys. Yay.
I'll tell you right now, the Instagram handle is the Caitlin Cook.
That's
You start if you get the wrong one, then that's gonna
it's
be
the Irish way, not the stripper way.
Right.
I write. So Haley's writing, great guest. Will she return to the UK for some shows? Also, she had ideas, toilet seat covers.
Oh, that's cute. I like that. I love merch ideas because I've designed so many weird pieces of merch for other people. Yeah, that's a great idea. I am returning to the UK. I try and go like once or twice a year. I'll probably be in London either this fall or I will be back early next year. And then I will definitely be back at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival next year with a new show with my writing partner / real partner / director of my show.
/ about to be your fiance, but you don't know nothing.
Yeah, I will know shit.
How'd the proposal go?
We'll see.
Oh, really? That it was just asking the family, and that's it. Because my grandma's ring, my mom had it, and that was like the only. He was like, "Do you have any ideas that you've wanted as a part of your proposal since you were a little girl?" And I was like, "Literally, I've never thought about it. I've never planned my wedding. I have no idea other than I want it to be with my grandma's ring." So he asked my parents for their blessing and for my grandma's ring. So now he has my grandma's ring. And he just has to plan a proposal.
You know what? It's like, what do you do for a grandma's ring? Do you like send flowers? Do you Venmo your parents? Like,
I know, right?
How do you?
He took them out to a very nice dinner,
Okay.
and then I hope hopefully in return he just like treats me really well.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Yes. There's all that. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
How great is that when the woman says, whatever. But I'm picturing the woman saying like, "Oh, I wanted you to use my grandma's ring," and I'm like, "Oh, my God."
Yeah.
I just saved $6 billion and
Right?
I can't get it wrong.
Yes.
Yeah. I want you to use my grandma's ring. Please don't spend any money on another ring. Like take me out on a bunch of nice dinners. Take my parents out to a nice dinner. Yeah. Easy.
Well, if he doesn't do this proposal fast, some are going to come in. I'm telling you, that's fantastic.
I know. I'm going to have to find a new director.
Caitlin, it's very nice meeting you. Thank you so much for your time. And
too.
we're definitely going to check out your show. It sounds a lot of fun.
Sweet. Thanks for having me, guys. And just let me know when you want to come. I'll put you on the comps list.
Thursday. Thank you.
Okay, great.
All right. So we're still live. I just want to look at some of this stuff happening here. Can we just say, Ryan, always coming in with the quips. And today we learned a lot about you. And I told a joke, but there was a lot of sorry for your loss and people being engaged. And I wanted to say this, the way that your arguments formed songs and stuff, I wanted to mention, Haley mentioned singing arguments. I think this is how ABBA formed.